Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very special travel show today. Yes, this is Europe, Middle East and Africa with Wendy Wu Tours. Yes, you heard it right, Africa, new for Wendy Wu Tours. Lots coming up in today's show. We are going to be traveling to these destinations. We're going to be going on virtual journeys, seeing the most amazing landscape, scenery and culture on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. So do stick around for the whole of the show. We'll be meeting the travel experts as well and hearing about tales and episodes from traveling in these destinations as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do stay tuned until the end of today's show, because that's when we'll be opening up our travel lounge, the VIP travel lounge, which is your opportunity to meet other guests and, more importantly, to meet the travel experts here at Wendy Wu Tours and to ask all the questions that you want to ask on these destinations and touring, specialist touring with Wendy Wu Tours. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, got your bags packed, passports ready? Let's travel. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, watching the show today, many of you have been to our travel shows before and watched these and will know who Wendy Wu Tours are. But we've got lots of new viewers today who don't know who Wendy Wu Tours are. So we are going to find out. I'm joined now by Gary King, Head of Sales here at Wendy Wu Tours. Gary, Wendy Wu Tours, we see them everywhere in the media, all over the place, but just who are Wendy Wu Tours, Gary?
Well, Andy, I love that. This is my favourite conversation to have about Wendy Wu Tours because, first of all, the clue is in the name. Wendy Wu Tours was crafted for touring holidays and adventures. So that's the first thing to say about Wendy Wu Tours. We are there for touring. That's what we're brilliant at. That was 27 years ago, so we have a lot of experience under our belt. And I think a lot of people, we're very famous for China and Japan. We are the #1 out to Asia for touring holidays. But probably what not a lot of people will know is that actually we go to more than 40 destinations across the world. So I think that's a really important part for us to sort of get across to our audience today.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, when we're going on holiday, when we're going touring, we want everything included in that holiday. And Gary, I know Wendy Wu Tours prides itself on that fully inclusive concept.
Very important factor. Again, it's something that we're very, very famous for. And that fully inclusive touring really does mean return flights, first of all, your international flights, all of your hotels throughout your touring, your transfers, every excursion, every experience is included that you see on our website and the brochure. Everything's included there. We do include the visas, which I think is very unique for us. It really takes away any stress from some of those destinations that you visit on a tour. And all of your meals are generally included as well. There are a few exceptions where maybe a few less meals if you're on a more independent tour. But on our classic group touring, we include every single meal, which is wonderful, to be part of a group and to know that everything's taken care of like that. You really can sit back, relax and enjoy the experience.
And ladies and gentlemen, when we're going touring as well, we want to see the best of that destination. And I know, Gary, Wendy Wu Tours, multi-award winning, the guides consistently
Absolutely
come out as top for Wendy Wu Tours.
They are our superstars. These are the local people. They speak fantastic English. They are local. They were born in the country that you're visiting. They know everything about it. Sometimes we have customers that sort of challenge the guys to ask a question they don't know the answer to. They know the answer to absolutely everything. They know the best places to take you to at the best time. There's no wasting any time on one of our tours. Everything's sort of taken care of right throughout. So, whether it's the sunset, whether it's the sunrise, they will take you to the best place at the best time. They know everything there is to know about it. As well as meeting the locals as well. Many of their families will get introduced to you. These are the sort of things that if you were to go off your own back and not be part of a Wendy Wu tour, you wouldn't really get to experience these things. Real immersive, authentic experiences.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, very exciting. You heard it earlier in today's show. Wendy Wu Tours are now going to South Africa. Yes, very new. And I'm joined now, ladies and gentlemen, by Natalie Gill, Marketing Manager at Wendy Wu Tours, who has literally just got back from South Africa.
I have.
Natalie,
yeah.
how was it?
It was amazing. I honestly had the time of my life. I've always wanted to go to South Africa and I'd never been before, so this was my first time. And our Kruger to the Cape Explore tour ticked off all of those highlights. So we started in Johannesburg. You go all the way up northeast to the Greater Kruger National Park where you enjoy your safari. We then fly down to the south coast, end up in Cape Town. So as I said, there's something for everybody. You have the wildlife and nature, there's history and culture. We go from big cities to small coastal towns. The food is incredible. It's not a foodie tour by any means, but if you do enjoy your food, then this is definitely a tour for you.
Natalie, I've got to say, it sounds absolutely amazing, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Natalie, what were the key highlights for you?
There was absolutely tons on this tour, and I'd love to talk about all of them, but we don't have enough time, so I've picked out a few of my favourites. As I said, we started in Johannesburg, which is South Africa's biggest city, so it's the perfect place to get to grips with the local culture and obviously learn much more about South Africa's history. Now, when you talk about history, everyone is aware of apartheid, so we spend a morning at the Apartheid Museum, which gives a really, really interesting insight into what life was like only, as recently as 50, 60 years ago in South Africa. And honestly, this is one of the most insightful and well-done museums I've ever been to. It has some really, really thought-provoking exhibits in there, and you learn exactly what life was like at the time, but also you learn about those who fought for equality and for equal rights. A main figure being Nelson Mandela. So you learn all about his life and how he's had such a lasting impact and what a fantastic country it is today, which feels a world away from what it would have been just 50, 60 years ago. So we also head north to the Mpumalanga area. So this region is also called the Panorama Route. It's called the Panorama Route for a very, very good reason. It's absolutely stunning. So we spend time driving through the Drakensberg Mountains, and we stop at some of those viewpoints on the way to see, as I said, some of the most outstanding scenery I've ever seen in my life. So you have the Blythe River Canyon, which is the third largest canyon in the world. We have God's Window, so it's an amazing viewpoint looking out over the scenery beyond. And on a clear day, you can see right across the Kruger and over into Mozambique as well. So you want to get there on a clear day because it's just absolutely breathtaking. So we also drive south to what is known as the Garden Route of South Africa. So this is South Africa's most popular stretch of coastline. It's absolutely stunning. You've got sandy beaches, there's indigenous forests, there's sleepy little coastal towns. It's a really popular area where a lot of people go to enjoy holidays, or even where people go to retire away from big cities. So I think I'll definitely be heading there when I get to that age, I think. So while we're here, we go to a small waterfront town called Knysna. So this was a real hidden gem of the tour. Not a lot of people have heard of it before, but everybody says that this was one of their favourite things. So whilst you're in Knysna, we head out onto the water on a boat, and we go across to what's called the Featherbed Eco Reserve. So it's a really beautiful nature reserve, overlooking the bay, overlooking the ocean. We enjoy a gorgeous, stunning scenic walk around the area. There's loads of flora, there's loads of fauna, there's animals there. It's just an amazing experience and a lovely way to spend a bit of time in nature and have a little wander around. And actually, when you get to the end of the walk, you end up at the restaurant, which is there. And I'm being honest, when I say this is the best buffet I've ever had, this was the best buffet I've ever had in my life. I know I've been talking about food quite a lot already, but it was just amazing. And to be dining in outside in an alfresco dining area with the nature reserve all around you, it was just a perfect day. And of course, you can't go to South Africa without visiting Cape Town. So we have 4 nights in Cape Town. There's so much to see and do here. It's hard to choose which things we want to put in this tour, but I think we've chosen just the right amount of sightseeing here to do. So obviously we go to Table Mountain. We take the cable car all the way up to the top of the mountain, and it just offers the most perfect views over the city on one side and over the Cape Peninsula on the other. So you could spend hours up there just looking at South Africa and Cape Town from all different angles. So it's just absolutely stunning. We also head over to Boulders Beach to see the penguins. They are these dinky, tiny little penguins. They're just absolutely adorable to watch. So that's a fantastic morning watching those penguins at the beach. And of course, we drive around Cape Peninsula, which is one of the most scenic areas of Cape Town. So you get to see the city again from all different angles, but it's where the mountains meet the rugged coastline. And it's just a drive that will take your breath away from everywhere you look at it. We also visit the Bokak district in Cape Town. So this was previously a segregated area, but it's really famous now because it has these fabulously brightly coloured homes and houses. So you take a walk down these streets and it's just a really stunning thing to see. You have the Table Mountain in the background, you have these orange and reds and yellow houses, and it really gets you immersed into what life is like in Cape Town, especially now. And whilst you're there, we do a Cape Malay cooking class, so we learn how to make our own samosas as well. So that was a great experience for everybody. And of course, when you're in Cape Town, you're right on the doorstep to the Cape Winelands. So I don't know if you're a fan of wine, Andy.
Oh, yes.
I think you might be.
I
Yeah,
do
me too.
like a
Me
glass of
too.
wine.
Yeah, so it's a really, really fantastic area to explore. So we head out to Stellenbosch and Franschhoek for the day, two of Cape Wineland's most renowned wine areas. And obviously, we just enjoy lovely wine tasting all day and eating delicious food. And it's so much more than just wine tasting and eating that day, because the scenery here is just drop dead gorgeous. You have these amazing vineyards that stretch on for miles and miles, and the mountains all in the background. They almost look as though they've been painted onto the skyline. It just looks like something else, and you could just sit there all day with a lovely glass of red in hand, and it's just a fantastic way to spend the day.
So I've got to say, it sounds amazing. So you did so much on this tour.
Yeah.
But what about safari? Is there a safari involved?
There is, yeah. I didn't want to speak about safari in those highlights because I feel like it deserves an entire section for itself. The safari was just the most amazing thing I've ever done. So we spend 3 nights in the Greater Kruger National Park in a private game lodge, and you're really immersed in South Africa's nature here. So it's not to be confused with the main Kruger National Park. The Greater Kruger is far less touristy, so there's far fewer jeeps driving around when you're out on safari. So it really feels quite special. So day-to-day safari life, you get up at the crack of dawn at 5 o'clock in the morning. You'll open your window and there'll be baboons outside and there'll be antelope walking past your door. And then you head out at 5 a.m. for your first safari, which takes, you can be out for 3 to 4 hours. So you're back by 9 o'clock, just in time for breakfast. And then you have the whole day to yourself. You can swim, you can relax, you can get a massage. So it's a really lovely way to unwind, actually. And then you head out again at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for your evening safari. So that one again is about 3 to 4 hours long. And obviously, the main point of the safari is to see the big 5. So you've got your lion, you have the leopard, you have the buffalo, the rhino, and the elephant. So when you do head out, you're with a driver and they have a tracker as well, who are absolutely expert at spotting these animals. When I say they're expert, you could not believe the things that they can see just whizzing past in a jeep, sometimes in the dark. At one point we stopped and the tracker said, "Oh, there's a bush baby in the tree," and it was pitch black and the bush baby was this big, and I have got no idea how we saw it, but he did. But we were so lucky. We saw all 5 of the big 5 in our first 4 safaris. So yeah, we were incredibly lucky, and it was a really moving experience. We got to be so up close to these animals. At one point we were just standing around this watering hole and it was full of hippos, and we're just having a hot chocolate in the morning, just standing by the edge. And it's like, you don't see yourself doing that sort of thing, do you? And then we're standing there watching these brothers, they were cheetahs, just sitting there relaxing, and we're standing about 10 feet away from them. So yeah, I've got memories from that safari that will just stay with me forever. I almost don't want to do another safari because I'm worried that it won't be as good as that, because it just was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely incredible, Natalie. I mean, again, just gobsmacked by how much is actually included in this tour. Stunning. Now, rumour has it there's something special for Christmas coming up.
There is. So we've taken this tour and we've designed our Christmas in South Africa tour. It's very much based on the same itinerary, but you're travelling over Christmas time. So if you do want to escape the grey of the UK, and who doesn't, I couldn't think of anywhere better to be than South Africa. So this tour, you're actually in South Africa for Christmas Day, and on Christmas Day is very, very nice because, it's all about indulgence on Christmas days, and it's all about food and wine and drinking. So we take you to the winelands on Christmas Day. So, yeah, like I said earlier, you're sitting there in Stellenbosch and Franschhoek with a glass of wine in hand. You'll have a delicious Christmas dinner. I couldn't think of a better way to spend Christmas than in South Africa, and especially in those Cape Winelands.
Natalie, thank you so much. What a treat, ladies and gentlemen. That's Kruger to Cape explored with Wendy Wu Tours. Natalie, absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Hi, everybody. My name is Liz Ndlovu, representing Wendy Wu Tours in South Africa. Please join us on our next departure to our Grand Kruger to Cape Town tour here in South Africa. look at the beautiful skin and the beautiful environment that we have. Next time, check the website for Wendy Wu for more information. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to introduce you to two exciting new tours at two ends of the fascinating continent of Africa, Morocco and Namibia. Morocco is a country of diverse landscapes and rich culture. Blending ancient traditions and modern influences, it captivates with its unique blend of Arab, Berber, and European heritage. In stark contrast, there are few countries as diverse and as dramatically beautiful as Namibia. You'll range amongst towering dunes, voyage on life-filled sea, and safari through spectacular wilderness in a land that promises an amazing adventure. So let's begin with our 17-day Moroccan Odyssey, one of the most comprehensive, culturally immersive tours you will find anywhere of this fascinating country. This journey is a deep dive into the exotic whirlwind that is Morocco. Let's begin with Rabat, the capital city of Morocco, where you'll spend the day exploring a perfect blend of tradition and modernity. First stop is the Hassan Tower, an incomplete minaret that stands as a powerful symbol of Morocco's rich history. Next, you'll visit the mausoleum of Mohammed V, where the architecture fuses traditional Moroccan craftsmanship with modern elements. And finally, you'll head to the Woudias fortress, perched on a cliff and offering majestic views over the Atlantic. The day ends with a peaceful stroll through the old Medina, where modern life and history intertwine. On day 3, the adventure continues as you board the Al Borak high-speed train bound for Tangier. This train is a sleek and modern marvel, whisking you off to Morocco's port city in comfort and style. Tangier is a cultural melting pot, and here you'll explore Cape Spartel, the lush Mlat forest, and the atmospheric Casbah. You'll also delve into Tangier's Medina, known for its hidden gems and a mix of European and Moroccan influences. From Tangier, day 4 takes you to the stunning Chefchaouen, a mountain village nestled in the Rif Mountains, known for its iconic blue-washed buildings. The charming cobblestone streets of its Medina are perfect for exploring and a photographer's dream. You'll visit Outa Haman, the historic square, and the picturesque Ras El Mar waterfall. That evening, you'll experience the Hadra Chefchaouen, an ancient Sufi musical tradition that gives a real insight into the spiritual heart of this region. Moving on, you'll set off for the cultural hub of Fez, with a stop at Volubilis, Morocco's oldest Roman town and a UNESCO World Heritage listed site. Here you'll see beautifully preserved mosaics and get a glimpse into the country's Roman past. In Fez, the vibrant atmosphere of this ancient city will immediately captivate you. Founded in the 9th century, Fez has long been a centre of learning and culture. You'll explore the UNESCO-listed Old Medina, which is home to traditional madrasas and stunning mosques. Then you'll have the opportunity to participate in a hands-on pottery workshop before visiting the Chouara tanneries, where traditional leather-making methods have been used for centuries. The day ends with an exciting evening, including dinner and a belly dancing performance. Day 7 offers a different kind of cultural immersion, a cooking class where you'll learn to prepare traditional Moroccan cuisine for lunch. Afterward, you'll have some free time to explore your own, perhaps indulging in a relaxing hammam treatment. We'll then take a scenic drive up on through the Middle Atlas Mountains to the Ziz Valley, with a stop to observe the endearing macaque monkeys in their natural habitat before journeying deep into the Sahara. You'll visit Rissani, a historic town on the edge of the Erg Chebi Desert. After a cooking class where you'll make medfouna, a kind of traditional Berber pizza, the real adventure begins. You'll embark on a jeep safari to the vast desert, where you'll enjoy a magical night in a luxury desert camp, complete with Saharan music, dancing, and a campfire dinner under the stars. After waking to a sunrise in the desert, you'll travel on to the peaceful town of Skura, known for its old kasbahs and tranquil desert scenery. Day 11 takes you to the dazzling city of Marrakesh. On the way, you'll stop at Ouarzazate and the UNESCO-listed Ait Ben Haddou, a fortified village known for its traditional architecture. In Marrakesh, you'll dive into the city's rich culture. The day includes visits to ancient caravanserais and a Ferran bakery, followed by an exploration of the labyrinthine souks, where artisans still practice ancient crafts. You'll also visit the lush Ourika Valley in the high Atlas Mountains, where you can explore magical gardens and enjoy a traditional tea ceremony with the locals. Finally, on days 14 and 15, you'll unwind in the charming seaside town of Essaouira. This Medina is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you'll have plenty of time to explore its art galleries, shops, beaches, and historic Scala de la Ville. This peaceful retreat offers a perfect conclusion to your Moroccan journey. So let's leave the kasbahs and souks of Morocco behind and journey far south for our next tour, a magical 12-day Namibia adventure. Namibia is known for its striking landscapes, rich wildlife, and diverse culture, and this tour brings it all to life. We begin in Windhoek, the capital and largest city of Namibia. It's well known for its well-preserved German colonial architecture, vibrant markets, and as a gateway to Namibia's vast deserts and wildlife parks. Leaving the capital behind, we venture out into one of the tour highlights, the ethereal desert landscape of Sossusvlei. Here you'll see some of the world's tallest sand dunes, glaring in shades of orange and red. It's an otherworldly experience, especially during sunrise or sunset when the colours are at their most vibrant. You'll also visit the Cesarium Canyon, carved by an ancient river, where you can explore the dramatic rock formations on foot. Next up is Swakopmund, a coastal town with German colonial architecture. From here you'll enjoy a cruise along Walvis Bay, where you can spot marine wildlife such as whales, dolphins and seals, as well as the unique mola mola fish and leatherback turtles. Namibia's coast is rich with wildlife, and this cruise is the perfect way to witness it. The tour then moves inland to Damaraland, home to the fascinating White Lady rock art, ancient petroglyphs created by early inhabitants of the region. This is also your opportunity to experience Namibia's cultural heritage with a visit to a Himba village, where you'll learn about the traditional way of life of the Himba people, one of Namibia's last semi-nomadic tribes. Next destination is an absolute highlight of this tour, the Etosha National Park, one of Africa's premier wildlife reserves. You'll go on safari through this park, where you can spot a variety of animals, including elephants, lions, and rhinos. The Etosha pan is a vast salt pan, and its particularly striking feature, often attracting a variety of bird species, including flamingos. So there we have it. 2 incredible new tours boasting captivating culture, dramatic landscapes, and some truly wild encounters. I hope I've inspired you to explore these 2 fascinating countries with Wendy Wu Tours, and we look forward to welcoming you to Namibia and Morocco very soon. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, very exciting indeed. We're going to talk about the new cruise and tour holidays from Wendy Wu Tours. Yes, combining the very best of cruising holidays with specialist touring as well. You get them both in one holiday. And here to tell us more is Lee Holden.
Thank you, Andy. I'm really delighted to introduce you to our new cruise and tour holidays. Combining the best of the world's ocean cruises with our award-winning touring itineraries, these really are unique and unforgettable journeys. Our fully inclusive touring ethos, where everything is taken care of, is the perfect match for a carefree voyage to the exotic corners of the world. With our carefully chosen cruise partners, we've curated unique holidays that weave together inspirational cruise itineraries with our best and most popular tours, providing you with the absolute best of both worlds. If you've not cruised before, you're in for a real treat. Travelling in style, only having to unpack just the once, modern cruise ships provide accommodation, dining, and nightlife choices that outshine almost any hotel. Add the huge choice of entertainment, leisure, and relaxations options available, and you'll begin to understand why cruising is so popular. For these holidays, we've chosen the most inspirational voyages on 3 of the most wonderful cruise lines: Royal Caribbean International, Azamara, and Celebrity. Each has its own unique style of cruising, with a jaw-dropping choice of ships, itineraries, and facilities, and I could go on all day about these incredible floating palaces if I only had the time. Be sure to take a look at our website, where you can find out about all the delights offered by each cruise and each particular ship. Where the ocean ends, we begin. Connecting seamlessly with your cruise, the Wendy Wu touring element of your holiday will take you places cruise ships just cannot reach. Fully escorted by our famous national escorts all the way, we'll show you the iconic attractions and hidden gems, immersing you in the local culture the way only Wendy Wu Tours can. All of your meals, accommodation, touring, guides, entrance fees and transfers are included, and will even include authentic experiences for you to really get to know the local culture. So what's included on your Wendy Wu cruise and tour holiday? Everything you need for an unforgettable adventure is included, beginning with return flights from the UK and all connecting transfers. Your cruises include outside or balcony staterooms, no inside cabins for us, dining, drinks, and onboard entertainment. Whilst your land touring includes 4-star hotels, all your meals, all your touring with guides, sightseeing, and entrance fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are enjoying this show today. It is absolutely amazing. We've been to Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to the Middle East. Yes, the home of myths, fables, and legends. It's all in the Middle East. And here to tell us more, some of the popular tours in the Middle East, here's Kate Rowe.
Hello and welcome to this section about the Middle East. I'm Kate and it's my pleasure to speak to you today about a couple of my favourite Wendy Wu tours in this region. The Middle East is built on the foundations of the most ancient civilizations, and it's a place of incredible history and really warm hospitality. It's a place where the past is always present. It was here that some of the world's very first cities came to be, and where 3 of the world's major religions were born. The region offers a real mix of attractions when it comes to touring. Outside of its urban centres, there are beautiful beaches, vast deserts and dramatic mountains. And everywhere you turn, you'll find cultural treasures, bringing you closer to this fascinating region's history and traditions. We're going to start in one of my favourite destinations and somewhere that I had the pleasure of visiting earlier this year, Jordan. If you're feeling a little cautious about travelling to this part of the world, I want to reassure you that Jordan remains a safe destination, very much open for travel. When I was there a few months ago, our guide described Jordan as a quiet house in a noisy neighbourhood, and I was blown away by how safe I felt, the warm welcome that I received from our guide and our partners, and we were rewarded by uncrowded sights, making for some really special moments. Let me tell you about our 8-day Journey Through Jordan tour, which will take you on a journey from north to south. The tour starts in the thriving hub of Amman. The city has a history spanning 12,000 years, but has also seen huge development in the last few years. So this is truly a city where old meets new. It's a city where you can visit ancient ruins and monuments, but look out onto a city of tall glass high-rises. Whilst in Amman, we'll visit the magnificent Roman amphitheatre and the hilltop citadel, where you can spend time wandering through the fantastic Roman ruins, enjoying views out over the city. The next stop on tour is Jerash. It's one of the best preserved Roman towns outside of Italy. I was amazed by the scale of the ruins here and the quality of them. The site covers a huge area, and you'll spend several hours walking through the town, exploring the colonnaded Roman streets, the fountains, theatres, and a hippodrome which once hosted Roman chariot racing. We'll also drive through the desert, spotting a few camels along the way, and stop to visit at some of Jordan's historic desert castles. Inside the castles, you'll see beautiful examples of early Islamic art, and one of the castles was used by Lawrence of Arabia as a fort during World War I. Next, our tour starts to head south towards Petra. En route, we'll stop at Mount Nebo, which is one of the possible burial sites of Moses. We explore the ruins of the 4th and 5th century churches there, and you'll see that the floors are still covered with beautiful, intricate mosaics. On arrival in Petra, we have a real treat for you. You'll take part in a hands-on Levantine cooking class, learning to cook some classic dishes under the guidance of a local chef. It's a great opportunity to get a real taste of authentic Levantine cuisine. The food in Jordan was a real highlight for me. Homemade breads, hummuses, falafel and fresh salads, spiced meats and rice dishes. The following morning, we set off for one of the new 7 wonders of the world, Petra itself. Petra is one of the world's most prized UNESCO sites, and you'll probably recognise it from movies such as Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It's carved directly into the rugged sandstone cliffs, surrounded by mountains, and the lost city is approached walking through a long, deep canyon known as the Seek. Rounding the corner of the Seek, you'll be confronted with that magnificent facade of the famous treasury, Petra's most iconic site. Your guide will introduce you to the hidden secrets of Petra, And you'll then return in the evening to experience Petra by night, with the treasury illuminated by thousands of twinkling candles. It really is an unforgettable moment and the highlight of this tour for many. We also get to experience authentic Bedouin hospitality on this tour in the desert of Wadi Rum. We travel through Wadi Rum in a 4x4 vehicle, which is great fun. And once we've explored the incredible landscapes of the desert, we'll spend a night in the heart of the desert at a luxury desert camp. Now, this isn't camping as you might know it. You'll be staying in a large Bedouin tent, complete with your own ensuite facilities and electricity. It's a wonderful, unique experience. How many of your friends can say they've camped under the stars at Wadi Rum? Our final stop on this tour is the Dead Sea. This salt lake sits on the border between Jordan and Israel, and we'll travel here and spend time. You can take a dip in its mineral-rich waters. It's the perfect way to relax at the end of your adventure. Next, on to another of our fabulous Middle East tours, and this one's brand new, our 9-day Secrets of Saudi Arabia tour. This is a tour that lets you discover a destination with a difference. Having only opened to tourists in late 2019, the wonders of this kingdom have been hidden away for a long time, and we're really excited to finally be able to take you there on a Wendy Wu tour. Saudi Arabia is a huge and varied nation with a mind-bogglingly long history. Touring this country, you'll encounter all kinds of treasures, from holy cities and relics from long-fallen empires to vibrant modern cities with gleaming skyscrapers. The tour begins in Riyadh, the birthplace of modern Saudi Arabia. Here you'll explore the 19th century Masmak fort and wander the fragrant alleyways of one of the city's oldest traditional markets. We head outside of the city to Diriyah, where you'll uncover the secrets of the UNESCO-listed At Turayf district, known for its mesmerising maze of mud brick architecture. As we travel north, we'll stop to visit the Ushaiga heritage village. Bedouins first settled here 1,500 years ago, when it was a popular stopping point for pilgrims travelling to Mecca. And now it offers a glimpse into Saudi Arabia from long ago, with its historic mud brick buildings and brightly painted doors. The whole city is a living museum, so you can explore, stepping inside the historic homes to see the furniture and decor. Next up in Buraydah, you'll experience the hustle and bustle of the world's largest camel market. It's quite the spectacle to see, and you'll be astonished by the prices that the prized camels fetch. Next, we'll drive through the red sands of the Nafud Desert to the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Juba, where you'll be able to see prehistoric rock art 10,000 years old. We then spend 2 nights in Al Ula, giving us plenty of time to explore the highlights of this historic and enchanting desert oasis. The area is surrounded by impressive sandstone mountains and is rich in archaeological wonders, ancient tombs and structures, including the 52-metre-high Elephant Rock, where we'll stop to enjoy sunset, watching as the rock turns beautiful shades of red. We'll also wander the labyrinth of narrow streets that make up Al Ula's atmospheric old town, and visit one of Saudi Arabia's most recognisable UNESCO treasures, Hegra. Hegra is the southern capital of the same nomads who built Petra in Jordan. It dates back 2,000 years, and you'll be able to admire the well-preserved tombs carved into the dramatic cliffs. Then, moving from past to present, we head to the second most sacred city in Islam after Mecca, Medina. We'll explore the heart of the city, which was previously off-limit to non-Muslims. Then we'll jump aboard the sleek high-speed train for our journey to the city of Jeddah. Jeddah is an ancient city which was originally a trading port on the Red Sea, and today it really is a city of contrasts, with its gleaming manicured waterfront, alongside its charming historic quarter. And to end your time in Saudi Arabia, we have a special, unique Wendy Wu experience for you. You'll be invited to dine with a local businesswoman and her family for a real insight into modern family life in Saudi Arabia. Your host will be delighted to share her story and insights into her life, and you'll be able to hear more about how this country is looking ahead to a new vision of the future. So I hope you've enjoyed that quick summary of two of my favourite Middle East tours. And if you want to explore more of the region, we've made it really easy for you to combine our tours. We've worked the departure dates of lots of the Middle East tours so that they sync up and you can do them back to back on one adventure. So you could combine our Jordan and Saudi Arabia tour together, or Jordan with Egypt. If you want more information about that, just give our reservations team a call and they can help you. And if you want more inspiration, take your time looking at our new brochure. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, even closer to home, we are in Europe. Yes, Europe is the scene for our next slot. And here to tell us more about Portugal and Turkey, it's Annabelle.
My name's Annabelle, and I'm really excited to speak to you today about our Europe tours. You don't always have to travel long haul to discover brand new cultures, fascinating history, and incredible landscapes. We're lucky enough to have tons of fantastic places right on our doorstep, which deliver travel experiences just as good as any far-flung destination. And we're thrilled to bring our unique style of fully inclusive touring to these destinations so that you can explore closer to home in that classic Wendy Wu way, with absolutely everything taken care of. So, let's head over to our first stop, Portugal. Small in size but rich in history, extravagant architecture and spectacular scenery, Portugal punches well above its weight to earn its place as one of Europe's most rewarding travel destinations. Our 12-day Portugal Uncovered tour takes you on a wonderful journey from colourful Porto to the pretty cobbled streets of Lisbon. Along the way, you'll sample Portugal's delicious cuisine, sip on those world-class wines, and discover dramatic castles, cathedrals, monasteries, and so many other legacies of Portugal's golden past. So, as I mentioned, this tour starts in the vibrant city of Porto. The city centre is a UNESCO-listed site, and we spend time here exploring its famous monuments and hidden secrets, before visiting one of the city's oldest cellars for some port tasting. We head north to the historic town of Guimarães for a tour of its UNESCO-listed medieval centre and castle, and visit Viana do Castelo to sample the local seafood and admire the eclectic mix of Renaissance, Baroque and Art Deco architecture. You'll get to experience the wild beauty of the Guimarães National Park, where you'll find crystal clear streams, hidden waterfalls and peaceful lakes, and even enjoy a few nights in the heart of the Douro Valley. The Douro Valley is actually the world's oldest wine region and is famous for its gorgeous terrace slopes. We'll explore the region on board a historic Rebello boat cruising along the Douro River. We'll hop on a train for a scenic rail trip and travel by coach to a family-run winery for a vineyard tour and to sample some of those delicious wines, of course. Journeying south, we stop by a number of Portugal's prettiest towns. The small town of Tomar is considered one of Portugal's finest historical jewels, and where you'll find the UNESCO-listed Convent of Christ and the nearby 14th century monastery of Batala. We also stop to explore the medieval town of Abidos, which is surrounded by historic walls and beautiful countryside, and here we'll get to soak up the atmosphere as we wander the cobbled paths and discover tiny medieval houses. And even further south in the Alentejo region, we'll stop by a family-run cork farm to learn about the corking process and sample some more of the local wines. Whilst in Alentejo, we'll also visit the region's historic capital, Evora. This well-preserved town is brimming with Roman ruins and Gothic churches, and has lots of quaint, narrow alleyways to explore with wonderful traditional food. And finally, the last stops of this tour are Sintra and Lisbon. Sintra is a fabulously romantic 19th century town with brightly coloured villas and pristine parks and gardens. The whole area is a classified UNESCO World Heritage Site, but the star of the show here is most certainly the Pina Palace, with its vibrant walls and lovely hilltop location. And then we end the tour with 2 nights in Lisbon. There's so much to see and do in this fantastic city, and we'll enjoy a guided walking tour of the beautiful historic centre and board a private 1930s tram to explore some of the city's oldest and most picturesque districts. You'll get to see the city from an entirely different angle, with a relaxing cruise along the Tagus River, and find yourself swept up in the evocative and deeply traditional Portuguese music known as fado, as we spend an evening discovering Lisbon's most iconic fado houses. Now we're heading over to Turkey for the second of our tours in Europe. The place where East meets West, Turkey is a treasure trove of fascinating history and archaeological wonders. Our aptly named Treasures of Turkey tour is a 15-day journey showcasing the very best of this incredible destination. You'll explore the icons of Istanbul, Gallipoli's battlegrounds, Cappadocia's breathtaking landscapes, and uncover the extraordinary, rich culture and history of this wonderful country on this all-encompassing adventure. The tour starts in Istanbul, a city regarded as the most influential in the history of the last 2 millennia. Istanbul is a melting pot of the old and new, a vibrant modern metropolis built around a historical heart where Roman, Byzantine and Ottoman treasures can be seen. Its settling along the Bosporus Strait is equally as dramatic, and the city's imperious skyline is best observed from the water. And that's exactly what we do with a private cruise along the waterway that divides Europe and Asia. In the city itself, you'll get to admire the 2,500 stained glass windows of the Blue Mosque, gaze upon the Hagia Sophia, the crowning achievement of the Byzantine Empire, and explore the UNESCO-listed districts of Fener and Balat, where you can watch local life unfold in the maze of these colourful historic neighbourhoods. We visit the fabled UNESCO World Heritage Site of Troy to discover its vast ancient walls and famous legends, and explore the incredibly well-preserved Greco-Roman city, Pergamon, known for its unusually steep amphitheatre looking over the plains which surround it. In Bergamo, we enjoy a special lunch with a local family in a typical village house. This is a wonderful and unique opportunity to experience true Turkish hospitality and try Turkish home-cooked food with the locals. Then it's on to one of my favourite stops on this tour, Ephesus. Ephesus is one of the ancient world's most famous cities and is believed to have been settled in the 10th century BC. The streets and buildings are so well preserved, it really isn't hard to imagine ancient life here as you wander past the bathhouses, library and enormous theatre. Now for a very special treat in the ancient Greek city of Magnesia. Not only is Magnesia lesser visited by tourists, but we enjoy an exclusive guided tour here, seeing archaeological excavations which aren't usually open to the public, so it's an experience we're really pleased to be able to include on this tour. In Pamukkale and the ancient city of Hierapolis, you'll see the spectacular terraces of calcium pools which cascade down the hillside, and later you can take a dip in the hotel's rejuvenating natural thermal pools yourself. We'll discover some of the most significant and best preserved caravanserais in Turkey, which were important resting points for traders and explorers travelling along the old Silk Road, and watch a ritual performance by whirling dervishes, which is a deeply mystical experience where dancers fall into rhythmic-like trance states. Spend 2 days exploring the otherworldly landscapes and rock-hewn villages of Cappadocia. Created by the constant eruptions from 2 huge volcanoes and thousands of years of erosion, Cappadocia is one of the most visually impressive geological sites in Europe, and has been occupied for many centuries by various civilizations who have carved dwellings into the soft rock formations. Explore the monastic centre of Gurim, often described as an open-air museum. This site is regarded as the crown jewels of Cappadocia's rich history, and is home to some of the finest rock-hewn churches in the region. You'll see the unusual cone-shaped chapels of the Pasabag Valley, the rock-carved natural citadel of Ujizar, and will also explore the fascinating underground cities which lie deep within the rock. We also get more opportunity to learn more about the local culture here in Cappadocia. Stop by a local pottery studio for your chance to master the creation of traditional Cappadocian pottery yourself. And once again, you'll be welcomed into the home of a local family to eat authentic Turkish home cooking in their traditional stone house decorated with Turkish textiles and Cappadocian rugs. That's all before heading back to Istanbul for a day at leisure and a final farewell dinner with your fellow travellers before flying home the following day. I hope you've enjoyed our travels through Portugal and Turkey today, and we hope to welcome you on a Wendy Wu tour very soon. Thank you, goodbye.
I've been very fortunate that I've had 2 long tours already with Wendy Wu, 4 weeks in China and 4 weeks in South America, both on my own, and they were absolutely fantastic, to the extent that I almost don't want to travel with any other company now, because I just feel everything is so well organised, from the initial booking to getting safely back to England. The guides are superb. The range of activity suits me perfectly. So there's some history, some geography, quite a lot about the culture of the area, the opportunity to try things, whether it's dance, music, cooking. Every day brings a new delight, really. And I do feel so well looked after. If there's any sort of problem, like in the run-up to this trip, I was worried about COVID and what would happen if I tested positive, what would happen if I had to isolate. And the logistics department answered all my queries immediately and was so reassuring and made me feel confident that people would help me every inch of the way. And that has been the case, actually. It's been marvellous to be so well looked after. I love that the meals are included, so I don't need to start wandering around at night on my own, trying to find somewhere for dinner in a strange area. I love it that all the entries are included, so there's not this big debate about should I, shan't I, how much is it going to cost, how much money do I need to take with me. I've hardly spent anything, to be honest, just incidental expenditure. So I think the value for money, which is not my main priority, but it is also extremely good.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate the launch of this new collection from Wendy Wu Tours, we have got some exceptional offers on the table as well. Yes, we are talking partner flies free, 50% off single supplements for solo travellers, another savings of over £1,000. Yes, £1,000. And that's for travel for departures in 2025 and 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing travel show we've had today. What do you think of these destinations? Europe, Middle East and Africa. Can it get any better? Well, now it is the time of the show for our VIP Travel Lounge. Yes, scroll down your screens, you will see the red button. Click the red button and you'll be taken directly into the Travel Lounge. This is your opportunity to meet with the travel experts from Wendy Wu Tours and also to meet fellow travellers as well. It's quite sociable, so do join us in the Travel Lounge. Look forward to seeing you there. I'll be there in the room with you. We'll see you soon.
We found Wendy Wu to be spot on from start to finish, with all the actual interactions from the booking to the preparation for the trip to arriving at the airport. It's been painless and faultless. Wendy Wu, they really do look after you.
I've been on other tours before, and yeah, Wendy Wu definitely includes sort of a lot more. It makes it a lot easier.
I liked the idea of what Wendy Wu offered. They have an excellent reputation. So I looked at a number of other tour companies, but Wendy Wu seemed to be the best.
Everything being included is really important. It makes it very, very easy and you don't have to worry.
I just felt confident that that Wendy Wu would know, the best places to go and the best things to do, and it's proved so far on the trip, it's proved correct.
I've been really impressed with not only right from the start when I rang up to book, the staff in the office were really helpful, just kind of organising things and making sure that we got all the right paperwork in.
Our national escort was Lily. Lily's been fantastic, so full of energy and so helpful. She calls us Lily's family. She's always referring to us as Lily's family. And I think she's really helped us actually bond as a group, which made the whole trip much more enjoyable.
The Great Wall was extraordinary. It genuinely brought tears to my eyes, looking out and seeing, understanding the history, and just seeing how it was built in inhospitable terrain across the mountain ridges. It was awe-inspiring.
Wendy Wu staff, the local guides, our national guide Lily, they've been more than helpful on many occasions, and they have done absolutely everything they can to ensure that we've had the trip of a lifetime.
I hugged a panda, which was an amazing experience and one that I will never forget.
I recommend Wendy Wu Tour to everybody, and tell them that if they want to go to China, nobody better than Wendy Wu Tour.
I will recommend Wendy Wu. It's been a terrific experience with them. I've been very pleased.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I'd recommend it to people that want to go on an adventure and visit somewhere they'd probably only see once, but to see the authenticity rather than just the tourist highlights that you could see on the internet.
I will certainly recommend Wendy Wu Tours when I go back to England. In fact, I'm sure we'll be going on more Wendy Wu Tours because we want to go to Vietnam and other places and see Wendy Wu do those tours. So we'll certainly be booking again with Wendy Wu.